Lionel Messi's shock playoff defeat was great for drama but a problem for MLS. Everyone loves an underdog story. Although an iPad may have been angrily thrown across the room in the Garber household as Atlanta United shocked Inter Miami on Saturday evening, Tim Cook might have reacted in a similar way after posting how excited he was to watch Lionel Messi and company in the MLS playoffs. He won't be watching any more of him this year. These were the Messi playoffs. The league's entire postseason marketing focused on the GOAT, preempting a predicted march to MLS Cup glory after Miami had set a regular season points record. Messi was everywhere, on billboards, in social media promos and TV ads. They even aired Inter Miami's first playoff game in Times Square. MLS had been building to this moment ever since Messi arrived in Florida. Those best-laid plans, however, didn't account for Atlanta United causing the biggest upset in league history. The 34-point regular season difference between Inter Miami, 74, and the Five Stripes, 40, was the largest between two teams to ever face each other in the playoffs. While Tata Martino's side won the Supporters' Shield, Atlanta United snuck into the postseason on decision day. On the pitch, the difference was a Bartas Sliss winner 14 minutes from the end of a tense, ill-tempered affair in an unpredictable three-match series, which Atlanta took 2-1. From Xande Silva's stoppage time winner at a sold-out Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Game 2 to Brad Guzan being pushed into the net following Messi's equalizer at 2-2 in Game 3. This was MLS at its messy, chaotic best. The league itself may not see it that way, though. Messi's absence for the rest of the playoffs will undeniably hurt MLS. Apple continues to keep the exact viewing figures for matches on MLS Season Pass to itself. But the Argentinian's debut for Inter Miami last year drew in more than 100,000 new subscribers, the largest single-day rise for the streaming service since its launch at the start of the 2023 season. By the end of last season, MLS Season Pass surpassed 2 million subscribers, a landmark directly attributed to the Messi boom. The Messi effect is real, posted Inter Miami co-owner Jorge Mas, also highlighting how sign-ups had more than doubled since the arrival of the World Cup winner. Cook said the service was exceeding our expectations in terms of subscribers. How many of those subscribers will tune in for Orlando City v Atlanta United in the Eastern Conference semi-finals? Though, will they stick around to watch Los Angeles FC face the Seattle Sounders? Or the LA Galaxy against Minnesota United? A Hudson River derby between New York City FC and the New York Red Bulls holds some broad appeal. But not in the same way Messi matches do. This is a preview of the problem MLS could face when Messi leaves, which could be at the end of next season when his contract expires. The estimated $50 million to $60 million investment in the former Barcelona star will only pay off if the league uses it as a catalyst to build something more permanent. The Messi era in MLS will be a failure if new supporters scatter now that Inter Miami are out of the playoffs. In some sense, this could be a positive inflection point. And not just because Atlanta United's victory proves there is more to MLS than just Messi and his mates. It could crystallize what must be done to build on the platform Messi has given the league. That could involve some big decisions on format, scheduling, roster rules and more. We were the most consistent team. We broke the points record. We had a good season. But what we wanted was to win these playoffs. I think this format is a bit unfair, said Jordi Alba after Saturday's loss. Sour grapes. Maybe, but the left-back's comments also struck on a discussion that has the potential to reshape MLS. The playoffs may be incompatible with what MLS wants from the Messi era. If the league wants to put its best players and teams on a pedestal, the current model probably is not the best way to do so. Next year's Club World Cup will give Inter Miami an opportunity to catch the eye of fans around the world. But only because Gianni Infantino manufactured their qualification. To take the next step, MLS appears willing to take some big swings, as proven by the consideration reportedly being given to a European-style winter schedule change for the 2026 season. But before it can do that, the league must decide what it wants to be. Is being the Messi league enough? Is MLS happy having its regular season champions and best team ousted early in the playoffs by an opponent with an interim manager and a 40-year-old goalkeeper? Is it content with the growing contradiction between the Supporters' Shield and MLS Cup? Atlanta United's victory may have showcased the best of the league, but is it what MLS wants to showcase as the best of MLS? The Premier League leaned into its competitiveness to position itself as the best league in the world, focusing on the product as a whole over a single player or team. MLS, however, has taken a different approach, intertwining itself with Messi and Inter Miami so tightly that Saturday's shock result has to be viewed through a different prism. None of this should diminish the spectacle of what happened at Chase Stadium on Saturday. Atlanta's win will go down as the defining moment of the 2024 MLS season and reflect how Messi became the heel of the league as everyone tried to take him and Inter Miami down. For MLS, though, this underdog story could have some bite.
Man United fans chant for Ruud van Nistelrooy after interim manager wins last game in charge. Bruno Fernandes maintained his scoring spree on his 250th appearance for Manchester United as Ruud van Nistelrooy's spell as interim manager ended with a comfortable win against a poor Leicester City. Fernandes had failed to score in 17 matches under Erik ten Hag before the Dutchman was sacked, but his fourth goal in as many games under Van Nistelrooy put United ahead before he helped force the second a little later. Alejandro Garnacho added a third late in the second half. Van Nistelrooy has presided over 3 wins and a draw in his 4 matches as caretaker manager, during which time United scored 11 goals, but will now hand over the reins to Ruben Amorim, who is scheduled to arrive in England on Monday to begin work as the club's new head coach. Van Nistelrooy was serenaded by the Stretford end, but it remains to be seen if the Dutchman will be kept on by Amorim, who is set to bring at least 5 of his staff with him from Sporting. Amorim will take charge of his final game as Sporting manager away to Braga on Sunday evening before jetting into Manchester the next day. Defeat extended Leicester's winless run to 3 matches, and Steve Cooper will be concerned by his side's performance, while many of United's squad will now go their separate ways as they prepare to join up with their respective international squads. This latest victory was another boost before Amorim starts. Fernandes, who was presented with a framed shirt before kick-off by new co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe to mark a quarter-century of games for United, opened the scoring when he bent a curling finish low into the far corner from Amad Diallo's back heel. United doubled their advantage when Victor Christiansen turned in Nasser Mazraoui's cross after Fernandes had missed his header but watched the ball hit his thigh and bounce in off the Leicester defender. Fernandes then teed up Garnacho to bend home a third. Fernandes had personally apologized to Ten Hag following his dismissal, but after a barren run under the previous manager, his goal here followed 1 against Chelsea and 2 against Leicester in the Carabao Cup. With Ruben Amorim's arrival imminent, Bruno Fernandes proves why he is Man United's most valuable player, even as one of Manchester United's more potent goal scorers hopes for a diminished role. Another shows no signs he will step down. Ruud van Nistelrooy bows out as interim manager unbeaten and with the highest win percentage in the club's history, 75%. Albeit from just 4 games, but Bruno Fernandes underlined why he ought to remain central under Ruben Amorim. A landmark appearance offered an illustration of what he can bring. Fernandes was presented with a framed shirt to mark his 250th United appearance. He then decided it, presenting his case to carry on in United's colours. It may have felt more pressing because of the imminent arrival of another Portuguese from Sporting CP. There does not seem to be a logical place in Amorim's favourite 3-4-3 formation for Fernandes. United have built around a number 10. But their next manager has not. Assuming Amorim keeps the same shape, Fernandes may have to become one of the wingers, unless he drops deeper into midfield. But at his best, he has a capacity to be a catalyst that has been unrivaled at Old Trafford for years. For the second time in 11 days, Fernandes scored against Leicester to give Van Nistelrooy victory. He claimed a second, too, and while it was not his, he assisted the third, finished by Alejandro Garnacho. It gave him a 100th direct involvement in a Premier League goal for United, in just 170 outings. A good day at work, said the skipper. He has rediscovered the route to goal under a man in Van Nistelrooy, who struck 150 times for United. He scored 4 goals in as many games for the interim, none in his last 17 for Erik ten Hag. And if that prompted an apology to the sacked manager, the interlude has provided a reminder he remains United's best player. He certainly has an ability to be the most productive. An 83rd United goal means he averages 1 every 3 games over those 250 outings. It also took him past Eric Cantona, whose 82 came in more successful sides, but who was another flair player to assume the captaincy. There have been times in the last 5 years when United have felt the Fernandes show. There have been many when they have been grateful for his presence. This was one such. A day when, the goals apart, United fashioned too few openings. But they had a difference maker and found by Amad Diallo with an imaginative back heel. Fernandes whipped and angled a shot from the edge of the box past Mads Hermansen. Fernandes's presence made United's second goal, even if his attempts to be credited with it were in vain. He darted into the box to connect with Nasser Mazroui's cross, but the ball flew in off Victor Christiansen's thigh. It was an own goal for the left back. United may note the Dane to score at Old Trafford was a Leicester defender, not Rasmus Højlund, but Fernandes did get 2 goals in Van Nistelrooy's debut in the dugout. His brief tenure ended as it started, with a defeat of Leicester, Chelsea apart. Van Nistelrooy's fixture list was friendly, but Ten Hag won too few of the winnable games, and his former assistant has done that, and improved the mood. It's been a short but amazing period, said the interim. Fernandes added, Ruud van Nistelrooy feels the club. He loves the club. He wants to bring joy to the players. He brought everyone with a smile to the games. We wanted to say goodbye as a manager for him properly because he did good things for us. Whether it is a bigger farewell remains to be seen. Van Nistelrooy expects to hear on Monday if there is a role for him on Amorim's backroom staff. The future is open, he said. But he has at least enhanced his own reputation, providing a sure hand on the tiller. He preferred Amad to Garnacho for his final game, rewarding the Ivorian for his match-winning turn against PAOK. Amad again contributed, setting up the first goal, slicing through the Leicester defence on the stroke of half-time, when Hermansen was required to stop his shot. Perhaps Garnacho was galvanized by his demotion, because he came on to curl in a glorious shot. Garnacho scored a banger but didn't celebrate like he should because he thinks he has lost faith from some fans, said Fernandes. Leicester didn't celebrate either. Steve Cooper may have seen enough of United for a while. The City manager has lost all 7 meetings with United by an aggregate score of 21-4. Leicester have conceded 8 in 11 days. First 5-2 and now 3-0. In decisive moments we didn't defend well enough, Cooper said, lacking the injured Jamie Vardy. Leicester could rue a couple of moments that may have made it different. The invention and impudence of Facundo Buonanotte brought hope, set against his creativity. However, was Wilfred Ndidi's inability to finish, from a free kick. He headed tamely at Andre Onana and, when Buonanotte chipped a pass over the United defence, Ndidi's shot was directed at the goalkeeper. We fell short in and around both boxes, lamented Cooper, and United ended as comfortable winners. Van Nistelrooy's name echoing around Old Trafford. Him accepting the acclaim in front of the Stretford end. It was a beautiful moment. Gratitude from my side to them and the reception I was able to receive was unbelievable, he said. He has had his cameo as caretaker. Now the Amorim era will start in earnest. And Fernandes may again be the first name on a team sheet.
Liverpool offer, serious, injury update on Trent Alexander-Arnold. Arne Slot fears Trent Alexander-Arnold sustained a serious injury in Liverpool's 2-0 win over Aston Villa and said he would be surprised if his vice-captain is fit enough to play for England this week. Alexander-Arnold limped off in the first half with a suspected hamstring problem which makes him a doubt for the Nations League games against Greece and Republic of Ireland. The 26-year-old has started all 4 games under interim manager Lee Carsley, scoring in last month's win in Finland, while Kyle Walker, Rico Lewis and Ezri Konsa are other options at right back in the squad named for the November matches. Liverpool face Real Madrid and Manchester City in their second and third matches after the international break, before a trip to Newcastle and a Merseyside derby, with Slot waiting for an assessment on Alexander-Arnold and worried how long the Liverpudlian may face on the sidelines. He said, "It is difficult to say how serious it is, but it is always serious if a player goes out in the first half. Not because I didn't like him, but he asked for it himself. He asked for it because he felt something. So that is first of all not a good sign. It is always difficult so close after the game to tell you exactly what it is, but let's wait and see. I would be surprised if we will see him playing for the England national team this week, but hopefully he can." Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah scored against Villa and Slot hailed the Egyptian, saying, "I think he has the best numbers from all our attackers. All our attackers have great numbers, but Mo stands out in that aspect."
Ipswich end 22-year wait for Premier League victory. Kieran McKenna toasted a special first Premier League win for Ipswich in 22 years following a superb 2-1 victory at Tottenham. Joking the pink kit designed by watching shareholder Ed Sheeran must have brought his team luck. Singer-songwriter Sheeran was present to watch his boyhood club win in the top flight at the 11th attempt this season after first-half goals by Sammy Szmodics and Liam Delap. Rodrigo Bentancur reduced the deficit for Spurs with 69 minutes played. But they could not muster a grand finale as Ipswich, wearing the pink third kit designed by lifelong supporter Sheeran, defended resolutely to ensure it was a day to savour for their fans. It's a really significant moment and a day to cherish in the recent history of the football club, McKenna said. Before revealing Sheeran visited the dressing room after the match, "You look at the journey the club has been on in the last 22 years. The ups and downs. Some heights but some of the depths as well. I think for the supporters to see their club win in the Premier League at a club like Tottenham, a fantastic club in a stadium like this against a team like that, is a massive day for them. For us who have been involved in the journey for the last couple of years, it's a really significant day as well." On Sheeran, McKenna said, "Yeah. He popped in and it was nice to see him. He congratulated the boys and we had his designed kit on. So maybe it brought us a bit of luck, and everyone knows he's been an important part of the club in the last few years with the support he gives us. So nice for him to be here." Before Ipswich went ahead in the 31st minute, Szmodics had been denied and Dara O'Shea and Cameron Burgess had gone close with headed chances from corners. The breakthrough arrived when Jens Kojusta's cross was sent up in the air and Szmodics was first to react with a fine overhead kick from close range. It was 2-0 just before half-time when Szmodics was played in and his cross managed to find its way to Delap to fire home on the line after poor Tottenham defending. Bentancur pulled one back for the hosts, after VAR had ruled out Dominic Solink's close-range effort at the start of the second half for handball. But Janet Moich was only required to block from Solink late on as Ipswich claimed a long-awaited Premier League win. It carried extra significance for McKenna, who spent 14 years at Tottenham as both player and coach after he first moved to England in 2002. McKenna added, "I come to this club as a 14-year-old. I left home and I never went back. So, yeah, it's nice to do it here. There is no doubt about that. My father was in the crowd and lots of people will be very proud. It's nice to do it here. A club where I have got a great affinity for, but also it's good to do it against a really good team. Tottenham are a fantastic team, playing really well at home. Amazing atmosphere in the stadium, so to come here and do it, it is more special for everyone. Spurs could have moved into the top 4 with victory, but at our 10th, we gave ourselves too much of a deficit to try to overcome." Head coach Ange Postecoglou said, "That's my responsibility. The inconsistency we're having this year. Ultimately it comes down to me and my approach and something I need to try and fix and see if I can help the players in that area." Thank you so much for watching the video. Your support truly means a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing for more content. Your time and feedback are greatly appreciated.